Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and today I'm coming to you with another product review. And today's product review is going to be on the Tactical Kydex Holster for a Glock 19 inside the waistband right hand. I reviewed one of their holsters in the past, which was a leather holster for a 1911, and I said for a budget company that's based overseas, it wasn't too bad. I had a couple of issues with it, but nothing that was a complete deal breaker. And I mentioned at the time, I cannot tell you about the quality of their Kydex holsters because I did not have one in for review. Well, they've contacted me again and have sent me that particular holster I just mentioned that I am reviewing. So we're going to open this thing up, and I brought out 4 of my Glock 19 sized guns. Well, really, one is my wife. Obviously, this one is my wife's, and this is the only one that I really have that is a true Glock 19 that's unmodified in any other way. I will also try this with the Glock 19X, the Glock 44, which everyone says Glock 19 accessories work with. And I also got to see if it fit in the holster with a mounted red dot. I brought out my Glock 19 Gen 5 MOS. So let's open this package up and let's see what I got. Well, obviously there's the holster, and there seems to be a few other things in here. I think they said they were going to send me a little knife, which is kind of nice of them, I guess. This looks pretty cool. It looks like it's fiberglass scales on it. Nice little knife that they sent me, so I will definitely use that here around the garage. Not too shabby. Looks like I got some more patches. You have some Tactical patches and some carabiners here. It looks like everything in their company is black, silver, and red. So I can always use these around the house and on my bug out bag and things. So it looks like I got a few of those. And the holster. Awesome. Well, we're going to mainly stick with the holster today. So let's open this thing up. Let's check it out. All right, so there it is. Let's put it on camera first. It seems to be decent quality. It has the red liner inside, which seems to be typical of all of their holsters. I actually think that their color scheme is kind of attractive. I do like the fact that it has some type of color inside, but it is black on the outside. That is, I said, it's just very attractive. All right, so let's try. We'll start with my wife's gun because this is the most basic Glock 19 I have, except for it's pink. Let's see how this thing fits. All right, so it's in there. I don't see any issues with it. It's a little bit loose, and I think I saw actually in the package, yes, there is an Allen wrench in here, and this is how I think you adjust it. I believe there is an adjustment on the side, so let's get this Allen wrench out, and let's tighten this thing up and see if it affects how it works. But right now, it feels a little bit loose, but it's not coming out of the holster. It comes out pretty easy. I don't see anything rubbing, nothing that concerns me. So let's go ahead and tighten this adjustment screw down and see how much I need to put it in there. Okay, so that's tightened it up a lot. Can still get it out pretty easy. Maybe I can go a little bit more. That is cool that this is adjustable. And as I said, I don't know how far I should go. It's getting a little tight there. Okay, so that is more of what I think of when it comes to a holster. What I would want, that type of retention. So it's not coming out, popping out. Well, everything so far looks pretty good. Maybe I'll tighten it down just a little bit more. Now that the gun is out of it. Okay, so I like that a lot. So there it is, nice and solid. Okay. So let's now try the Glock 19X. Now, so this has the same slide as a standard 19, so I suspect it will work with this holster, but just wanted to double check. All right, slides in there just fine. It's in there nice and tight. Doesn't pop out. Retention is good. Nothing in there concerns me either. Let's now try the Glock 44, which of course is a chambered in .22 long rifle. And as I mentioned, a lot of people say that the Glock 19 accessories work with this gun as well. So this might be a nice affordable holster if you want to carry a Glock 44, but let's find out. Yep, fits in there just fine. This one fits in there a little bit looser, probably because the slide dimensions are a little bit different, but maybe we could tighten that down and make that fit a little bit better. But this is a Glock 19 holster, but this I think would definitely work. Seems to hold in there and have pretty good retention. And then finally, let's see if this will fit one with a red dot mounted optic. So I'm going to have to take off my Surefire light for this, because I know that will definitely not fit in there. And I also have suppressor height sights, so we'll see if that works. All right, the suppressor height sights work, but I can tell you right now it is not going to go over the red dot. So this is not a holster for a red dot, and I'm not sure if they offer one for that. But if you're not going to run a red dot, that shouldn't be an issue at all. All right, so let me put this back on there. And I guess what I should do now is put a gun in it, put it in my belt, and see how it carries. Because one thing when it comes to a holster that I really care about is how comfortable it is. It does seem to have this nice flap that I like a lot of holsters to have, which prevent it from rubbing into my beautiful and sexy dad bod. Just a lot of times when I carry inside the waistband, it kind of rubs on me the wrong way. It can kind of dig into me if it doesn't have a nice firm flap, which prevents the back of the gun from kind of digging in. So this looks like it has it. Everything else seems to be kind of solid, and I'll see how it carries. All right, so here we go. I got the camera adjusted, and you guys are getting an awesome profile of the Texas Gun Vault dad bod right there. But of course, today we are reviewing this holster and not my awesome physique. But as you can see, it seems to work. If you're curious, the belt that I'm using is a 511 tactical gun belt. It works pretty good. It's nowhere near as nice as my Core Essentials, but I use this one occasionally, and so this is just the one I had today. It seems to hold up pretty well. The holster feels relatively comfortable. Now, I gotta say, one of the things I do like when it comes to inside the waistband holsters is the ability to adjust the angle or the cant of the holster. So I do like them to be a little bit more straight, but this one has an angle to it. It's not too bad. The only thing it really would affect would be the draw of the gun. I know you guys love that pink gun, right? That pink Glock 19. But this holster seems to work pretty well. Now, the way that this little flap is that would prevent it from digging into my side, if it was straight up, it would definitely dig into my side. But having it curved and bent to the front, it actually conforms to my body pretty darn well. So it's not uncomfortable. I don't really feel it digging into my side. It is pretty solid, and when I do tighten the belt, it does not compress the holster. So I can easily get this out, but trust me, there is a lot of retention to that. So let me try the Glock 44, which I know a lot of people are going to be curious about, because some people are saying, I want to carry a Glock 44. Yeah, it's in 22, but people have been asking. So let's try this out and how this one carries. Well, it carries just fine. That little wobble I mentioned earlier doesn't seem to be a problem when it's inside your waistband. It feels comfortable. It's definitely a lighter gun, so this might actually be a decent holster for the G44. Everything's easy to get to, nice retention. Now, holding it for a little bit, I do feel like it kind of digs into my side a little bit. So when I get this thing off, I'm going to check the ridges here. Maybe it just needs, that flap for me would just need to be a little bit bigger or a little bit more dehorned. It's not that it has a sharp edge, it just kind of digs into my body. Now, everyone's body is a little bit different, and that's one thing I cannot account for in these reviews. You have to know your body and how your body is shaped and what type of holsters typically work for you. So this one, as I said, has this little kind of forward angle to it that may or may not work the best for you. Now, I think I could live with this. I would just have to get used to it. And normally when I carry inside the waistband, I do wear an undershirt, and normally I'll have a t-shirt or some type of clothing over it. But I always wear some type of garment between the holster and my skin. That just makes it more comfortable for me. Now this one, as I said, it does bother me a little bit, but I think this is going to be more me being out of shape than the holster itself. Let's try the Glock 19X, see what that looks like with the larger grip to it and how much that sticks out. Well, that looks just fine. That looks nice and solid there, no problems, and it has the same retention as the other Glocks. So there you go. So let me put this back on the table here, and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so I've been kind of messing around with it for a few more minutes off camera, and I have kind of figured a couple things out and things I didn't notice while I was trying it out on my belt. I think when it comes to digging into my side, I think there has a little bit of a lip right here on the side. I'm gonna try to get this on camera. Maybe I think right there I got the right angle. You can see this little raised part right here. I don't think it needs to be that raised. I noticed that it's that way to get around the slide stop. However, it's really raised, and that causes it to be very kind of pointed here at the back, and that kind of dug into my body a little bit. Now, if you don't have a dad bod like I do, maybe that would not bother you, but that did. And I noticed it once I took the holster off. It's not bad. It's not that it's super uncomfortable, but for my body shape, that might not work. Another issue that I noticed is on the Glock 19 here, the Glock 19X especially, and mainly on the G44, that this material that is inside of the holster here, I'm going to assume it's Kydex, which is this red material here, or whatever the liner is, it rubs off. And so I'm getting some red streaks on the front portion of each one of those slides. Now, I was able to wipe it off when it came to the G19X. When it came to the G44, because this is plastic, it actually kind of wore into the slide a little bit, made it a little bit smooth. It's not bad. And it's something that you would just have to get used to, and probably pretty standard holster wear, but something in the front of that holster is not precise when it comes to these Glock 19 shaped objects. So this one still has a little bit of the marking on it. It does rub off, but I don't know if that would cause excessive holster wear or premature holster wear early on. But probably if you carried it for a while, that would go away as the holster kind of conforms to the exact gun that you use. Is that a deal breaker? No, I don't think so for most people anyway. For me, it might be. One of the reasons I'm not a huge Kydex fan is that I find that these wear the guns quicker on the finish than standard leather. Now, I know some people just because they say leather actually has more friction than Kydex, but I find that the harder material against the finish can wear on it quicker. But that's just my personal experience. Maybe yours is different, and maybe basic holster wear does not bother you. So, is this a holster that I would continue to use? Probably. I'm going to put it into my rotation, and just to give it a fair shot, I will begin to carry it when I carry Glock 19s. So how on my little star system would I rate this? Well, I got to be fair about this, and they were super nice in giving it to me, but I always tell you guys the terms. They didn't give me any type of compensation. The only thing I got for this review was the holster, the carabiners, the patches, and the knife. That's all I got, and I gave them no promise of a positive review or even a negative review. I would just say what my personal thoughts are. So on my little star system, I would actually rate this about a 3 out of 5 star, maybe a 2.75. It doesn't exceed my expectations. It does what it says it's going to do. So it's from that perspective, it's not a bad holster. It's a holster. It works. It holds the guns pretty good. Got that little bit of holster wear with whatever this material lining is. For me, it dug in just a little bit on that corner. So I may want to see this little flap in the back be extended. Maybe if it kind of came out to here and it was a little bit more rounded, it had some softer edges to it, it might be a little bit more comfortable for me, but you know your body shape and this might work for you. But for the price point, I think you get a pretty darn good holster for the price. It's not bad. Decent Kydex holster. Is it for you? Only you know. Is it in your price point? Only you know. So you guys can go check it out. I will put a link in the description below to their holsters again. You guys can go check them out, see what you think. And this has just been my honest review. So 2.75 or 3 out of 5 stars for the Tactical Kydex holster for the Glock 19 right hand inside the waistband. It's not bad. It's not the greatest Kydex holster of all time, but it is a nice budget option. So there you go. So go check them out and let me know if you guys have a Tactical holster, and if so, what do you guys think? So let me know in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.